Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Cities Skylines 2. This is episode number 4. So, we made some real progress last time, and we did a lot of zoning pretty late into the last one, but we filled up most of our zones now, other than, well, really kind of just this area out here, which is just prepped for opening. So after we've kind of circled things around, obviously our industrial area is prepped. We have 9 tiles. We could really push into this island with another residential zone if we see fit, and I certainly will. But I very much wanted to get into this zone before we bother too much expanding into the other zones. Now, additionally, into here makes a whole lot of sense. But with this low valley here, which, I mean, you could really see, you could theoretically change the terrain a little bit, and you could open up a whole nother river through there. But let's not worry about that right now. Let's get full control of this zone, adding in a few more tiles, and then I'm going to go ahead and start putting the roads into that network through there. So kind of filling this stuff all in. Do I want to get this one? What am I at right now? 3, 6, that's 8. I only have 9. Do I want the final little itty bitty pocket right there? Maybe. I think that's actually more necessary right now than additional stuff back there. Alright, so that expands our area a bit more. We need to get the road network built, and you can see it's not taking long for stuff to pop up. In fact, a little industrial pocket is quite easy, as we have everything already built up for that. And do we want to start getting into these zones here? I want to save a little bit for commercial. That's, I guess, the waterfront is next. Now, obviously, that land's going to get built up a lot to do what we're talking about there, but I don't mind turning the river into a bit of a seawall. Now, we do have highway unlocked finally, so we are able to do what we need to do. Is this going to be ramps? The thing I have yet to do is implement our parking services. So let's go ahead and do that now. That's our road maintenance depot. I haven't unlocked intersections. That's still something that haven't gotten into yet. So I'm going to wait to put this ramp in. We are going to leave a little bit of space for that, but start filling out the network otherwise. That's it for that intersection. I think to push into this area, we're going to need to have something maybe out here. Absolutely no piece of art, no work of art whatsoever, but passable, usable, serves a purpose. Some larger businesses are going to kind of fit in this gap here. I only have the one connection with it right now. I think I need to turn that into 2 connections to here. Drop that one business out. That'll free that traffic up a little bit. And then for now, this pocket in here has 3 ways to get in or out, and we're going to be adding in a 4th once we have our intersections unlocked. So we have this pathway here, this double lane, or 4-lane road, continues on around, but there's a link up here, here, and here to help kind of create neighborhoods, get those little pockets so the traffic's not so heavy, and then not everybody's always taking the same route, and this is going to free up a lot of residential, which you can see we have plenty of demand right now. Now that's that high density stuff, but it's that regular old medium density that we are lacking right now. Do we want to go apartments or row houses? Probably row houses through here. So let's go ahead and start getting first pocket of these, and we are going to need some parking. There's got to be some parking in this area, so let's go ahead and add in a few small parking lots along the way. We'll put it on the kind of the main road here. All right, 3 parking structures. That's going to help us a lot with going for a bit more of a dense area there. We don't have to worry about this nearby industrial because it's all going to flow. The wind's going to flow away from that, so it's okay to make that residential. Just like that, we've already filled our need, and now we have some low density need. We definitely won't go all in on high density, so we'll tuck in some low density kind of back in this edge. And we're starting to get a little industrial need, so back into our industrial neighborhood here. And sure enough, we do have our nice little seawall, man-made seawall placed in there. That part's slightly awkward. You'd love to see that evened out, but I suppose there are tools to make that happen. I wanted to get some commercial in there, not just industrial. Employees need lunch breaks too. Need things to do on those lunch breaks. How are we doing here? Cargo trade. And it does have cargo. Okay, we are starting to get somewhere when it comes to our cargo. So transportation wise, we are not quite matching the taxi service, but pretty quickly here we are getting something going in terms of rail service. We're up to 6. In fact, it just jumped now, 660 passengers per month. There's only 3,700 people here, so that's a lot of people taking public transportation. But our truck transport is already being exceeded by the cargo train, so they have already gone beyond what's there. So it's coming along. You're going to do this. Are you going to go right to here and turn back the other way? It looks like you are. Reverse in. Oh, there's another. Okay. There's already a train inside, waiting for him to depart. Little bottleneck here, but nothing too severe. Let's see. It's not ideal, right? Involves a stop. It does hold things up. If we can build the tracks necessary to kind of get something circular going there, we might have to do that. But with that train, with that rail line, one thing it does do is it takes a lot of that traffic off the highway, off the city streets. It's going to ease that burden. Well, a monthly balance of negative 161,000 is certainly not ideal, but it's all down to these services, the maintenance resources. We're putting out services that are meeting a larger demand than what we have right now, so they will eventually offset. The government subsidies definitely are not much coming in. Taxes is something we could probably put more into and offset that quite a bit. The service fees are starting to help out. Education, public transport, electricity making up the majority of that. Service trade, the exported electricity obviously helping greatly right now, but yeah, this is far from where we need to be. One thing we could look at and start trying to address is what are our needs, what's costing us. If we can start producing something in certain industries, we can make money. Right now our production for lumber is great. I mean, it's easily meeting our needs, and we are getting into export levels. So we're starting to make money off of that. But we do have huge deficits in terms of grain. And so that's an obvious industry that we, more than any other, need to get into first. But there's clear needs arising in all the industries. So I think let's look to agriculture and get grain so we're not importing everything. We're one tile away from including this house, but I've at least linked up the road. Neat little small island there, but we're going to start putting in some like farming into this area. But one thing I forgot to do as we look at these specialized industries is where? Nothing. Vegetable? Nothing. Forestry? Too far away. Coal? Not here either.
Road maintenance
So
services have already
that's
been
going to
set up,
have
and
to have a
traffic flow
different
should return to
function
normal.
for sure.
But if you're planning a quick trip
But it
out,
looks like
you
we
might
could
want
do
to
a
wait while
little
until everything clears up.
If you're in it.
in real life, this is actually a common thing to have farms near industrial, because they're both things that people don't want to live next to. And then you have a lot of waste that somehow finds its way into the soil for the farms and ends up going down those mouth holes of ours. Bad stuff, and only very little of that is actually regulated. There we go. So now I've built this farm out. This should produce a lot of grain for us. We'll see how this one looks now. 56%, but that's because not enough employees. So once I get hired on, the livestock farm will be on its way. That's one area we had. Grain is obviously another one, so we're going to need additional farms, but I have managed to really fill out this area. The road's probably bigger than what we needed for that, but it's okay. It's really not that expensive of a road. Oh, there you go. Well, there's a could be some nice waterfront property, or it could be one really nice farm. I think we're gonna go with the one really nice farm. Hate leaving some valuable land to farmers and not to those big-time taxpayers in residential, but that's a big grain farm that we're able to get in there, and that's going to provide a huge need for us. In fact, industrial demand just went up massively, so let's go take care of these sudden demands that we've picked up while creating a livestock and grain farm. Wow, that fire is huge. Really burning out a lot of trees, but it's outside of our zone of control. We don't have control over that area. And if there is a way for me to do something about it, I haven't caught on to what that might be. This is definitely the longest stretch I've been through with minimal updates. For one thing, the forest fire that was over here in the last episode has cleared up. It's gone. The one up here, though, rather large, rather massive. We only have a single fire station, and that's outside of their area. And it's outside of our area, so I really don't know what, if anything, we can do. But we are continually growing our industrial off the back road, which has a few connections to the main road coming through. I've left the main road open so far with that, but we've got our farms going now, so they should be fine. We're at 1.5 million, so we haven't spent too much, and as the need arises, I've been filling in with the residential into this new zone, and we have some blank space to work with through here. I did open up into here for a farm, but then there was nothing farming wise to put in, so we put the farms here. So we do have some options to keep an eye on as we are progressing towards the next milestone, a couple thousand XP away from making that happen. Right now we have a rock musician mansion that's available to us. We also have Balter Pines stone monolith that diversifies and enhances its surrounding +3 well-being for quite some distance, actually. We might want to put that one in. Now, one thing I haven't done, though, is push additional industries into these new areas. So it might be time to make a run through, see what we have, what we need to fit that area. Electricity, I know, is fine. I mean, we're producing a ton, way more than we need. Consumption's 26 out of 275. Water availability is okay, but not by much. We are going to need some more soon. Water trade, yeah, we're okay there. Sewage treatment is also okay. Did I ever put in my wastewater treatment plant? I'm not sure I did. This is just a recycling center. So that is one thing that I haven't gotten into, is this wastewater treatment center. It might be a good addition for us. Upkeep is what kept me away from it initially, and the cost. This would take care of 50% of our sewage treatment, and that is for up to 79,000 gallons, 79 million gallons, which we're not having to export any. I mean, that's nice, but I still don't think we quite are using enough to warrant that. Okay, so we have our one medical clinic, and clearly it's serving an area, but it's not serving our other areas. So we do need to get one, and that is what this key road is for over here. So we'll put our first medical clinic. Actually, put that right in front of that rail line. There. And we do not need another big cemetery right now. We're okay with that. We have not put in a landfill as of yet. We have no landfill garbage processing status. We have a recycling center. Let's check in on that recycling center. Are you doing anything? Destroyed by weather. Oh man. Rebuild? Where was I? Alright, well now we're getting somewhere. We're back to actually processing something. We may or may not need a landfill. Let's check in, because I'm guessing, yeah, the efficiency, employees coming back, that's all going to be a little bit of a process. We can eventually get that up to 11, which is nowhere near what we're producing. So I do think we are going to need to get a landfill. And it, of course, is going to need a healthy amount of space. It's not very expensive either, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Is that what I want to make use of through here? I have all this land. And with that, we have our first landfill on the other side of the rail line, kind of off the industrial area, but we'll see. I have a feeling pushing things, spreading this out is going to have a negative impact later, because, oh my, there's more fires. Must actually live close to home, huh? Ah, educational services. So we have an elementary that's half full. Could definitely hold more, but it's about the reach on that one right now. There's only so much reach. So maybe adding in another elementary is going to add in a whole lot more. And I'm thinking this is something I want to put out this direction if we're going to put it in. Because then we can also get this other side of the freeway. Doubles the capacity, of course, but it also does a lot more. And I think the high school Alright, so we dropped in a high school as well, and just like that, we hit milestone number 6. We are now a boomtown. 1.4 million for that. 6 new upgrade points and 8 new panels. Textile fiber farming has been unlocked. Heavy traffic bans. Advanced pollution management. The intersections are there. Wondering large roads. Spend the 6 points on our road network. You want to make sure you're taking care of your traffic. So we're going to do that. Oh my. Well, I'm not a fan of how that one just worked out, but we do have parking structure down here somewhere, don't we? Huh, weird. I put parking structures in last time that the game seemingly did not save. So I know I had one in here. I know I had one in up here. Biggest project for a bit has been this, and that is adding in a tunneled section to the freeway here with an off-ramp that's going to connect this area. So that now makes 2 off-ramps within this section of the city. One taking you into the heart of this neighborhood, which I have not zoned these up properly yet. I will here at some stage. But I've added in a few more roundabouts, and we now have a connection that brings us to here. And I should probably throw in a roundabout for that one too. We've got that couple smaller roundabouts through here, connecting up over here, and I think we're going to want to add in at least one more connection kind of across here. But that brings this whole neighborhood into play closer to the freeway for quick transition around town. Demand is high right now, so I've got things to fill in. But before I do that, just a quick update on how close we are to now breaking even. We were at about 170,000 in debt. We're down to under 100K, and that is largely coming from the increased service trades. Exported electricity is still the main thing for that, which is just odd, but sure, government subsidies are coming down while other things are going up. But the trade-off, at least, has been that we are doing a bit more. We are now starting to produce grain. Still not enough for our demands, despite only having 5,000 people here, and that's shocking. That is shocking, but it is what it is. We're also starting to bring in... Yeah, wow. Okay, we need a lot more food. We need vegetables. We still need livestock. I have not looked at whether I can expand those farms. Well, their level is going to help produce more. Company, half a grain. This one's still level 1. Efficiency is low. Well, before somebody tries to take me out for not providing them the industries that they need, let's go ahead and add in. Next farm, once again taking away some valuable land that was planned for residential, but people got to eat, and it's starting to make a pretty big impact on what's going on, though we're at minus 4,000 at the moment. I thought it was a little strange at first when I had created our logging camp that it only had 1 employee. It's up to 34 now. I just expanded this area a little bit further to include what's going on here behind the power plant, and it's already leveled up quite well. So it seems to be about a leveling situation to set that up. Our first profitable industry is now the electricity. We are exporting enough to actually make money off of it. Roads are still costing us. Water and sewage is still costing us. Healthcare and death care in real life is incredibly profitable, at least in the US, but they don't charge here what they charge in the US. We pay absolutely absurd rates for things. Garbage management is a real challenge at the moment, though, as it's definitely not covering our needs. So looking back at that one once again, yeah, our processing rate is not the greatest, 13 tons a month, but we're using 57. That's weird for such a big recycling center that it can't handle that much, but the landfill's got us covered otherwise, no problem. Use of transportation has grown significantly since we last checked in on it. For one thing, there's an extra 60 or so people using that taxi service of ours. but the rail line is starting to get used fairly extensively. 1,300 a month. We don't even have 6,000 people here. Likewise, our cargo transportation is all growing, both the rail line and truck line. So things are going well for that. One thing I have not gotten into at all is having a bus depot and bus stations. That's one way to start moving some people around here, and will certainly help with our needs. I've added in our Parks and Rec department now. I do have available upgrades, more vehicles, supply storage. Park coverage is definitely getting a lot better. Got quite a few parks spread out throughout the city, helping us out, keeping the happiness very high, which is actually a good justification to raise those taxes. You know, something to offset them being upset. Before we wrap this episode up, let's go ahead and check on how things are going in the city, some statistics. We have a growing household wealth. Commercial wealth has been fairly stable so far. Industrial wealth is definitely growing, so we're seeing a few industries that are really popping up. Those are probably the ones that I've recently gotten into. Office wealth. Financial companies are definitely growing. Population count steadily increasing, now over 6,000. Number of households also steadily increasing. Population change definitely increasing. Happiness staying very high for the well-being. Health is just so-so. Definitely have some work to do on that, but I have not been committing the points to it. Employment, jobs, commercial jobs, high, industrial jobs, higher, office jobs, very low, city service jobs, stable industry. Our uneducated numbers are growing, but that's because our population is growing. But meanwhile, a little more rapidly, poorly educated is growing the most, but that's because elementary was all we were offering. Now, educated citizens, where you can get somewhere with that, maybe out of the elementary, or they got it elsewhere, I don't know, but now we have high school. So we are just beginning to, face cam's covering it up a little bit, but well-educated is just very, very minutely beginning to show up within our city. It's going to make a difference in a lot of different industries as we gain a bit more education. No mail service yet. Public transport. Okay, train cargo definitely on the rise, though the latest figure is not great for that, but it has been increasing. Truck cargo also increasing, but not as rapidly. It's nice to get a lot of that cargo going out on trade. Not much change in trade value. Things are actually quite low. And one industry has no value. Is that the timber? Tourism is non-existent so far, but we'll get there. And meanwhile, that monthly balance is closing in on zero. And without even trying the Boomtown level, we're almost halfway through it. So just a few natural things that have happened on stuff that I already set up previously is starting to show up. But something is going on here. What is this? Backed up sewer. Okay. Alright, we've got some sewer issues to take care of. That's going to happen at the beginning of our next episode. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm the Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.